Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs, where you get your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge. It is the post-game show. Um, Not the best result for Habs fans, but Montreal lost 5-2 to the Vancouver Canucks. First period was really good, and then I think Montreal was a little bit tired. It was the third game in 4 nights. For Vancouver, I know they were on back-to-backs, but I don't know. I don't think they were on 3 games in 4 nights. So there's a little bit of an excuse there for that. Overall, though, outplayed by the Canucks. I've got the post-game stats, and you're going to be surprised at one of the stars in the 3 stars. So I think a lot of people are going to be surprised. We'll talk about that in a minute. What else do I got? I mean, it was still a fun game to watch. The pace kind of fell off after the first, though, for at least the Habs, I think, anyway. But it was still, what are you gonna do? I don't know what else to say. What are you gonna do? But they got outplayed a little bit and they lost. Gonna happen. Um, and I think also, for the goalie situation, the 1A, 1B, people saying recently saying Allen, he's the 1A and he should get most of the starts and all that. I don't know. If you look at the last 2 games, Monty outplayed him. So there's that. Is there a goalie controversy here in Montreal? I don't know. I don't think so. What else? Yeah, so I'm going to do all that. First, see who's here. I know there's not going to be a lot of people here because it was a loss, and I get that. Paul, I see you're back. As the world turns. What was the that used to be a soap opera? What was the final score? It was 5-2. 5-2 there, Huzu. Hey Guru, welcome back. DeSmith was pretty decent. Yeah, DeSmith was good. Habs played decent but couldn't keep up. First period was really good. It fell off in the second, and yeah, they just couldn't. They were too far back for them to catch up, and they started to look. I don't know. They were a little bit tired there at the end, I think. Hey Joe, welcome back in. I thought the first empty net was a bad move, especially against a top attacking team. Yeah, but they're running out of time, right? And you're down by multiple goals. You almost have no choice. You got to maybe do it a little bit earlier, and that you see that all the time now, right? 4 minutes to go, and teams are pulling the goalie. Seen once at 6 minutes to go. Like it's weird, but yeah, they're doing that. So I don't know if that's if it was a bad goal per se. That's what I think. Let's see what the stats look like. So as you can see, we were outshot by just 4 shots. So that's not horrible, right? But it's in the face-off circle where last night where we were 10 percentage points ahead of Boston. I mean, we were 15 points off of Vancouver's pace. So 57.1% for them in the dot, 42.9%. So that's a big part of why things didn't go very well overall. They were 0 for 2 on the power play. We were 1 for 2, so we got them there. 14 hits for them, 13 for us. And 24 blocks for us, 17 blocks for them. We were better there. So scoring with no scoring in the first period. Let me just get that there. Connor Garland opens it up at the 6:15 mark of the second from Miller and Hughes. Mikheyev makes it 2-0 about 3 minutes later from Kuzmenko. And you got Dakota Joshua with his second from Garland and Ronick. Second of the season, by the way. Make it 3-0. And that was like 8 minutes later, 8.5, something like that. Third period, Mike Matheson gets Montreal on the board with his 4th of the season from Monahan and Anderson. Anderson with an assist. Woohoo! That might go a long way for next game for him. You never know. Even just the second assist, just to get a point on the board. So it's 3-1, and that's a power play goal. And then that stays that way right till near the end of the game, 18:30, so a minute a minute and a half left in the game, and it was 4-1 on an empty net goal by Brock Besser. Jackeye makes it 4-2 on a nice shot that went off the post and then into the back of the net, and that's from Harrison Allen. And then Di Giuseppe gets their second empty net goal from Miller and Besser, and that's the scoring. And here's the surprise. Look at the third star down there. So for all you guys not sold on what we were saying about Slav still doing everything and playing well and all that, he got the third star. That says something that his play was good, or he wouldn't got a third star. I don't care. You could say it's rigged. It's Habs people voting. It's not. So Carter Garland with the first star, 1 goal, 1 assist. Quinn Hughes with an assist gets the second star. And Slav gets the third star. And I think deservedly so. I thought he had a good game. Even though, no points. But he's playing well. Just not the points aren't there yet. So there's the stats for that. Anybody out there surprised? When I saw that, I went, oh, there you go. Look, there's proof that he had a good game. Anybody else surprised to see that? Oh, well, I said it at the end of the thing. I'm going to make it a little earlier. Hey, it's better. You know what? More people to watch because you're, right after the game. So I try to get it as close as I can, but I need 15 minutes basically to get it ready. But yeah, sorry about that. I did announce that at the end there that I was going to move it up. Another thing that Joe noticed was that the Habs looked deflated after Dvorak's shot was called a no goal. You think that's what happened there? I don't know if I noticed it at that time. It doesn't mean that it's not what happened. It's disappointing though. I mean, obviously it would have tied them up. I mean, that could have been a really different game, right? If Montreal ties it up at 1. Maybe this is a different game in the end overall, right? Canada's team is not the Canucks. Is that what you're saying? Canada's team is the Canucks? It's not. It's good to have you here, though, as a Canucks fan. You're welcome. Welcome to the channel. But come on, Canada's team is obviously between the Habs and the Leafs, and it's the Habs. Roger LaCourse, good to see you. It's been a while, man. It feels like it's been a while. He still doesn't belong in the, but he's good enough to earn a third star. The coach says he's playing fantastic. Points will come. I don't know what you don't see. And I don't agree with you, but I mean, I don't know what you don't see in that. So I thought he had a really good game tonight. He was strong physically, made some really good plays, was creating out there, was looking good out there. So no, I don't agree. The points will start to come. Once they do, I think everybody will fall in line and say, nah, he's fine. I don't think it's going to be a problem. Do I think Allen played well? I think he could have had 2 of those 3, 2 of the 5 goals, 2 empty netters. So of the other 3, probably could have had 2 of those. He made some really good saves too, some really spectacular ones as well. And so, he gave up 3 goals. I mean, that's not horrible in the grand scheme of things, right? So he was okay. Caulfield was off tonight. His shooting was off. Something was off there. And for me, the first game, the first game for Caulfield that I'm going to say that he looked off. I think every other game, man, he's been a ball of energy out there, and I think he's been great so far. Joe says she'd love to see Caulfield back with Suzuki and add Slav to the line, which they did for a little while. Have you thought of this, that this might be actually the goal here, is to separate them, let them get a feel for some other guys, and put them back together and see, like, I could see that being a strategy and see that kicks off a little bit more chemistry because he's got Slav and Caulfield on the same line. Nick can play with anybody. So I think that might be what the strategy is here in the long run. Donkey Kong, I think that line's been good, and Slav's been creating, so maybe it is working. I just don't see Devo as the second line center anymore here. But maybe because Doc is not, he's gone. So maybe we're going to see another year of Devo playing there. And if he's got some chemistry with Slavkovsky and there's chemistry with Caulfield, maybe that stays together for a little while. Best game of the year for the Canucks? I mean, do you watch the Canucks enough to know that? I think they've had some pretty good games from what I've read about. It should be 3-2 but there's 2 empty net goals. I mean, those count. Right? Those count. So, no, it's legitimately 5-2 in my mind. And I don't really think that the refs had a big influence here in this game. I don't think it was bad. And the last game against Boston, a little bit in the third period, but in general, Habs have been getting a break from the bad reffing for the last 3, maybe 4 games, I think. Just because he's the Canuck announcer, and then you think, well, he wouldn't say that, but that doesn't mean he's accurate, And anyways, that's his opinion, and it could be your opinion, but it's not my opinion. That's all I'm saying. They pulled the goalie when it was 3-1. They gave up a empty net goal. That happens. It's legitimate, though. I mean, empty net goals are legit. Ullinen should take Pizzetta's spot next game. Evans, Harvey Pinard, and Ullinen has been really good together at the start of the year. You know what? He's got to rotate guys too, right? Keep guys fresh and everything. So Ullinen will be back. It's not a doubt. I think these last few games they wanted Pez. They wanted the physicality. It worked against Boston. I don't think Boston was expecting as physical a game, and I don't think they have the answer like they, have had in the past. I don't think that's the team they have right now. Bob's your uncle's back. Hey, Bob. Welcome back. Ghislain Laframboise says, could Dvorak be on the same line with Slavkovsky and Doc next year? Kind of don't think so. I mean, unless they sign Monahan, so Devo is going to be a center. Right? If they don't re-sign Monahan, they're going to keep Devo, I would think, right? So, and then if not, I think Devo could be on the block. But I wouldn't, I don't think I think it would be probably still Newhook even. But still, I don't think it'll be Devo taking a wing spot. I think Devo's a center. Devo's a good, especially third line center. He's a good third line center. Donkey Kong, you're probably right. I know that's the rumor. That's the talk that's been that he's probably going to get moved. But it'll depend on a few things still. But, yeah, I mean, I kind of think that is how it is. And then if not, well, the season after, you got to think of the trade deadline because he'll be on an expiring contract, right? Next year he'll have only one more year after that. So, yeah, I don't know, but I don't think Doc and Devo on the same line. For me, for some reason, it doesn't have the feel of something that's going to work. I don't know why. I really don't know why I'm saying that. You feel Joshua Roy would be promoted to the NHL next year? I feel that too. I think Joshua Roy would be here. And Joshua could be, he could be a fit there on that first line or on the second line, and then that leaves Newhook for that. So I think there's your wingers, right? So I don't think it's going to be Devo. Why do I have a Huey sweater on the wall? Why wouldn't I? You don't like Huey? I like Huey, and I didn't buy that, but that was given to me. But I like Huey. I liked him when he was here. There's no other reason than that. Someone gave it to me, so yeah, that's why. I wouldn't have gone in those years too. I wouldn't have bought that. And better on the wall. That's one of the older sweaters. That's thick material. I'm not wearing that. Not in the house for sure. It's thick and itchy. We still got some time here, so just ask some questions. Tell me what you thought of the game. And we can go from there. If Montreal can get one more top six forward for the future, we'd be set on that top six. His name is Joshua Roy. Offhand, right? I think Joshua Roy is going to be he's going to be a top six forward. So you know that's an addition that you're going to get more than likely next season, if not before the end of this season. But I still think it'll be next season. Someone was put it up there. He's on pace to put up 91 points, I think, in Laval. So, I would think a guy who can put up 91 points his first season in Laval, he's not destined for the AHL for very long, right? So he'll be here, and he is going to be a top six forward. Primo was Allen's backup tonight? Not. They said it was Monty. I thought anyways that it was Monty. Yogurt. I like yogurt. I feel like Montreal will need more size up front because they're Roy coming in and Hudson we're going to be even smaller. Well, when you think, I know everyone still thinks Montreal's a small team, but maybe you don't know, but they're the fifth biggest team in the league. They're not small anymore. So Joshua Roy, I believe, is 6'1", 6 foot or 6'1". He's not small. And Hudson at 5'10", not a big problem because you got the rest of the defensemen are going to be big. He's going to be well surrounded by size, as is Caulfield. I don't think there's a problem there. But no, we are not small. Fifth biggest team in the league. And if I'm also correct, second youngest. So no, we're no longer the small Habs. I mean, we do have small players here and there through the lineup, yes, but not like we used to. And there's a good point, right? Mayu and Reinbacher are still on the way, and they're 6'2", 6'4", and 6'2", respectively. So there's more size. No, Roy's not small. No, Joshua Roy's not small. He's not overly big, but I think he's 6'1". So 6'1" is fine. Hey there, Ashley. Welcome in. What do I think of if we get... Wait, what do I... Let me read this properly. What do I think if we go get a player like Anthony Duclair from the Sharks? I don't see a need for... First of all, Duclair's not a young guy. Anybody that age and over, there's no need. There's no need for getting older veterans like that. So I to what end, right? Are we going to make the playoffs this year? Probably not. He's not going to help us that way. No, I don't see them going out making trades like that. Besides, like we're just talking about, there's still a lot of talent in the pipeline coming up this coming year at the end of this season. Don't expect them to be, acquiring guys too much, Not guys like that, anyway. Besides, I forgot about Duclair. He's still out there? Still playing well? Well, nobody on the Sharks is playing well. The smallest D-man by far will be Lane Hudson, but that's it. There's not, and if Harris is still there. Harris, I think, is 5'11", so not overly small, but still on the small side, right? So you got those two guys, but surrounded with monsters around them. So Machar is ripping it up in the OHL with Kitchener, 15 points in 8 games. Yes, I saw that. I listened to his game on the radio today, and the announcers were out of their minds gushing about his skill and hockey IQ. Yeah, but I think it's not a surprise about Machar, right? There wasn't a lot of room in Laval this year for him. I think that's the reason he got sent down. There's just too much in Laval. They thought it was better for him to go and star in Kitchener another season. It would be better for his game overall and for his chances. So, that's what you're seeing. But Machar doesn't surprise me. The smaller is Cole Caulfield at 5'7". Yes. He's 5'8", basically. And Gallagher and Harvey Pinard at 5'9". So there's your small guys. Right. Pay up for 2 young physical players, trade Anderson. Well, the way Andy's playing right now, I mean, I could see them maybe trading Andy. We'll see. With the amount of, did you write tail? No. The amount of tall D's in the on the team, they may as well be known as skyscrapers. Yeah, we're no longer small, that's for sure. You're right. Montreal skyscrapers. I've always loved Duclair, another West Island boy. Yeah, I know he's from out here. Used to see him around the rink growing up. He was a nice guy, a lot cooler than Drouin. Yeah, I believe that. It's just that, his age. I don't see how getting Anthony Duclair is going to help this team going forward. He won't be here in all likelihood, when we're making the playoffs. So, and we've got young players in the pipeline that need to develop. So, doesn't make sense to me. Could they still do it? I mean, sure, but I don't think they will. Brad Marchand is small, 5'9". If you surround small guys with the right line mates, teammates like that, they'll do just fine if they're talented enough. Rogers says Habs will make the playoffs this year. I don't think so. If Kirby Dach was not injured and out, I would maybe be saying that they would. I don't think so. I don't think that, like what they're doing right now, if it was the playoffs tomorrow, they're in the playoffs. Although after this loss, I don't know. But going into the game tonight, I don't see that as being sustainable for them. They're still probably a couple of seasons away from being able to say, yeah, you know what? I really think they'll make the playoffs this year. They're still, from my mind, 2 seasons away from that. It's just that you always believe we got the wrong Jonathan. Which other Jonathan are you talking about? Donkey Kong, I agree. I think Andy just needs to get, even a really either greasy or lucky bounce off his ass goal. Doesn't matter. Just get a goal. Get off the schneid that way. And I think, he's a streaky guy. I think he'll kick into a streak. Actually, Donkey Kong, I agree with you in that they do have, I think, more of a chance for playoffs next year. I'm not saying they will make it, but I think more, as, they progress, it's more of a chance, right? And then by year 3, so 2 years after this season, that could be a year that they do make the playoffs. And I think if not, it's the year after that, like almost for sure. When Jacob Fowler gets here, I think he's, we're going to be a playoff team by that point. And that's only 3 years probably away. David, I don't know what the 2 points in 11 games means. Is that about some player in particular? Is that that might be Drouin? I don't even know if he played 11 games. If Montreal was a West team, I'd have more faith for playoffs. Yeah, because the West is shit. So they'd have a better chance to finish higher. They're in a tough division, right? Montreal's in a freaking tough division. So the chances of them making the playoffs is really unlikely. As much as they look good and they look like they could maybe do that, it's unlikely they're going to leapfrog over anybody into the playoffs. Andy does need to start getting going, but Andy will get points. He's not going to play like this all year. Oh, I see what you're saying, Shizna. Well, that's a rumor, I think, created by fans, though. Huberdeau at 50%. Huberdeau at 50% retained, that becomes a different story about getting him. I would do that. Huberdeau's not done. Huberdeau's just wasn't a fit at all in Calgary. And that happens sometimes. I think Huberdeau comes here. I think it's a different story here. But I don't know that that's an official rumor in any way. But yeah, I was seeing that on Twitter was that 2 days ago? After they benched Huberdeau for a third period? Jacob Fowler reminds you of Jake Ottinger. Not bad. And guess what? That's one of the guys. Fowler himself says he's got some of that in him. Like he's patterned after. Is that what it was? Who does he see himself like? I think Ottinger was somebody he named. Anderson, 2 points in 11 games. Yeah, I mean, it's not great, obviously. Lucas Galley deserves it. He's been playing almost like the old Gallagher. He doesn't have the skating anymore, and obviously the line mates are different, right? But I mean, man, around the net when he gets in there, he's and even just inside the blue line, he's really picked up his game from the first 2-3 games. I mean, yeah, I mean, kudos to Galley. I mean, that's how determined he is, right? He wasn't playing well, but he got his game together, and I think it was a little bit of rust in the first few games. And once he shook off that rust, and he's playing Gallagher hockey. Bob's your uncle. Do they have players there? Sounds like what kind of players can they have that they're so horrible? So their fire sale can only go so far. Hey, Randy, was Jake Allen hung out to dry? No, Jake Allen 5-2, 2 empty net goals. It was 3-2 if you look at it the other. Was he hung out to dry? I wouldn't say hung out to dry. There were points in the game. I think there were defensive lapses. Yeah. But I think legitimately 2 of those 3 goals that he gave up probably would like to have those back. Yogurt, I think they can manage that contract full on as the salary cap is starting to go up. Huberdeau at 5.25 million. That's not bad, man. Even though it's 7 years, I don't think once you get down to the last 2 or 3 seasons, the salary cap will have gone up quite a bit. I don't think it looks as bad at all, and he'll still be giving you something. But the first 3-4 years here in Quebec, if he's in Montreal, might look really good with Huberdeau. Thing is, I don't think it's a legitimate rumor. It's just something fans are looking at after him being benched for the third period. And he's been horrible in Calgary, so. Lucas, I did not think when I saw the contract, 10.5 million, 8 years, Huberdeau's age. So no, that's not going to do well. Did I think Huberdeau would so underperform in Calgary? No, that I didn't. Hey, Franco, good to see you, man. Been a little while. Habs doing okay, better than expected. Galley showing up. Anderson almost there. Almost there. I mean, Anderson's getting the chances and all that. He's not putting them in. That's all. Slav is showing good. Third star tonight. Third star in the game. That's nothing to sniff at, him getting third star. We're definitely not a solid playoff. We're not a playoff team. I mean, that's coming though. That's coming. Just enjoy what we're seeing. I think enjoy the progression. The progression is there. This team is better than last year, and we're doing this right now without Doc. So definitely this team is better than last year. Huberdeau with Suzuki and Caulfield would be amazing to see. Yeah, it would be pretty good. It's not going to happen, though. It's not going to happen. Huberdeau's not coming here. It's just that was a rumor that put out by fans. That's all. But I mean, I would be shocked. But I mean, like at 50% retained, I could say, Huberdeau, because at 50% retained, that contract is tradable if you need to trade it after. But 10.5 million, not at all. So, yeah. Calgary wouldn't want Monahan. No one said Monahan the other way. I did not. Oh, Gislain. Monahan and Anderson. No, it was Anderson straight up for Huberdeau. Monahan was not in that equation that I saw. It was Anderson straight up for Huberdeau. Because of the money. Money would be very similar. Anyway, it's not going to happen. Huberdeau, there's no fit there. There's nothing there for him in Calgary. It doesn't work. It does happen with players, So I don't think Huberdeau's done. The Joe, the Habs attack it's also the speed that they can, that they're playing at, the excitement that they can produce, and they're scoring some goals, right? So it's a much better team this year. And they're still not even close to being there yet. They're just getting closer, that's all. Well, look, Lucas is coming out of the closet right here on our chat. Hubby, nah, he means Huberdeau. I was out, Lucas. No, I met Lucas's girlfriend, so I'm just bugging him. Hubie, it's Hubie. Hubie would cost an elite prospect, though. Who are we giving up on? Do you think, though, or would they just be happy to get a player that they could use back for him? At this point, I think they'd be happy to get rid of that contract. So, no, I think in not getting that prospect, that's the price they pay to get rid of the contract. That's how I look at it. Plus, Andy's only got 3 years left. Huberdeau's got 7, so there's a difference there. Seeing Quinn Hughes and how good he is, quarterback in the Canucks, excites me when Lane Hudson, who plays a similar style, gets here. Yes, it's going to be awesome. We're going to have the power play is already better. Obviously, Marty, who put his hand in it this year, he's starting, he's got input and he's working with Burrows. And look at the difference this year. Power play looks decent, right? Is actually decent. So there's a big, yeah. So when Hudson gets here, we're gonna have a pretty decent power play, more than decent, pretty good power play. I can say good. Lots of established veteran players get benched for a period or a game or longer and bounce back. It's about the only power a head coach has, allotting ice time to players. Well, we'll have to see how Huberdeau responds to that. I have no idea. It just happened the other day, so we don't know how Huberdeau responds. I agree with you. That's probably what the coach is trying to do, but I don't know if it worked. Flames would want prospects due to an eventual rebuild. Yeah, I don't think the Habs are reaching out for Huberdeau with intent, with the intent of just giving up prospects to get him. I don't see that happening. They'd have to take somebody. So maybe there's no deal here, and it's just a fans kind of trade rumor. So there's no deal here. I don't expect that this is a deal that's going to happen. All right, that's going to be it for tonight. So it's been a long weekend. It's been a long 4 days, 3 games in 4 nights. It's long. So I'm happy. I'm happy that it's all behind me right now. I have to say I would have liked a better result though from tonight. It would have been nice. So the next game is Tuesday. It is against Calgary, and tomorrow we're doing the podcast. So Pucking Around podcast, episode 6 being recorded tomorrow. Yeah, and episode 2 of Habnormals on Wednesday, which, by the way, links are in the description for those. Please check them out. The podcast, both of them. One episode of Habnormals, check that out. I thought it was a really good episode. And then there's already 5 episodes of Pucking Around already. So just click on the link. It'll get you there, and you can check it all out. Give us a follow, leave us a comment. Be really awesome. So that's it till Tuesday. Give a thumbs up on your way out. Thanks everybody for being here. Appreciate it though. It's always good conversation, and I do like doing these post game shows. I kind of like the post game show better than when I was doing the pregame show before the game. I like this a lot better. So thanks for being here. Till next time, stay safe out there. Peace out. Have a great rest of the night, and enjoy it. And go Habs, go. Keep your stick on the ice. And a little better than that. Go Habs, go. See you soon. Ciao, everybody.